Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy, another Zaya Savez. Anyway, I want to get into a few things, but before I get into a few things, I just like to, send my shots out. One is, I think her name is Diana Gon or something like that. She's out of Guadalajara. She's an artist. Her art I find like really provocative. A lot of people that pretty much turn me on to her. You just go ahead and check her. I'm gonna drop the link. I think you'll like her art. Like I said, she's out of Guadalajara. So for the ones that really represent Mexicanos, like go ahead and check that out and support her movement. And to Conejo, SKM, Misfit Soto, Badachi, and Badachi the Beast, they got a song called Presidential. I don't got the link to it. I'm just putting it out there because I think you'll like it. And Conejo's been doing it for a long time, as well as a few others. But yeah, so I'm gonna go into what I wanted to talk about. Yesterday I did release a video and it was talking about how, some chumps, wanted to snatch the chain. And, you got the same stupid comments. It's silver. It's actually white gold. But, I mean, that's besides the point. At the end of the day, what I was trying to say is the chain didn't get snatched. Now, you had a couple of cats that jumped on here and they're talking about, well, you can't be using the pump fake, talking about pop the trunk and there's nothing in there. For the most part, nobody ever said there was anything, whether there was anything in there or there wasn't anything in there. I just said I popped the trunk and whatever happened, at the end of the day, my chain didn't get snatched. That was the whole point. And then, there was a lot of other things that people could have paid attention to, but of course, they want to, they like to point that out. And that's the whole basis behind this video. There's a lot of authors, a lot of cats, a lot of whatever that like to be out there pump faking on, and I'm not talking about pump faking, but they actually like to be out there showing exactly what they got on the internet. I made a video on this a long time ago. Dudes want to show all their guns, all their dope, how much weed they're smoking, who the connect is, and that's the way social media goes now. And that's what the whole video is based on. Dudes will sell their soul for recognition, and I'm saying that not in a nice way, but just more of a, informational way, because there's a lot of dudes on here that sell their soul in order for us to recognize them. And that's the type of gangster. I was never that type. I never needed multiple people to know exactly what type of crime I did. It's like one of the songs on Mozzie. He's like, if it's attempted murder, mean you ain't do it right. To me, I mean, the proof is in the attempt. And also that he made another song that was like kind of like one, he says that, basically if he don't know if you're drilling and you're not out there putting it out, the fact that you're drilling fools, then obviously you ain't, basically you ain't a real gangster unless people know about the crimes you did, which sounds kind of crazy, and that's no shot at dude. That sounds ludicrous. The whole thing about doing crimes and not getting caught is to do them by yourself. And that's how you do. Now, your homies that are within your inner circle, they might actually know what you did, which, I mean, the smart thing nowadays in this 2000 gangster and all that is to keep your mouth shut, because the one that you trust the most will be the one to point the finger. And I can tell you that's happened to me a couple of times. So that's why I made this video, you know what I mean? In direct response to some of the comments, it's like if I would have said something like along them lines, like, yeah, the fool tried to snatch my chain and I pulled the burner on them, everybody, you would have had the fools that said that was stupid, and then which would have been a smart response, and then you would have had those fools that like, oh, well, you didn't bust. Okay, well, you're at a gas station, you pull out whatever type of pistol you got, the cameras are all right there. See, so yeah, it makes absolutely no sense. And that's why I covered in another video that kind of stupid stuff is the stupid stuff that get people put in jail. I never told you what was in the trunk, and for various reasons. It's like, for one, to tell you if I had a burner in the trunk would only been admitting guilt on camera, which the cops and all that watch that, and that's when your door kicked in and people want to know, oh, you said you had a gun, so now let me just run up in your house. And even though you didn't have a gun, or whether you did or not, it's like now I'm all in your house searching. See, that's what people get twisted. That's not gangster. That's dry snitching on yourself. You got to be an absolute stupid idiot in order to do something like that. Talking on camera, you see all these rappers, oh yeah, I'll blow this fool's head off. They showing burners that are actually real and what they'll do to people. That's the type of stuff that gets you put in prison. And you be the same cats to turn around and snitch on one of your homies in order to get off of that sentence. The smart thing is to not say what you got or say what you'll do. That's why cats that might, say whatever, there's no subliminals. It's straight out issues, whatever, if I have issues. But at this, day and age, I have no issues with nobody unless they got issue with me. And for the most part, I've stated that in multiple videos. If it's on some knuckle stuff, I'm going to handle my business. I'm not out there looking for issues. And I will stay true to what I say. If you're with your kids and you try to push up on me, you're a buster. at the end of the day, because if I sock you out in front of your kids, it's all bad. If your kid gets hurt in between the altercation, I'm all bad. Maybe for the cats that run a whole different car, nothing happened to you, but let me go to jail for anything that has anything to do with a child getting hurt, and it's over for me. So that's just, you know, it's two different constitutions. It's two ways of dealing with stuff. And, you know, for the most part, I would rather be the one on top than to be the trash getting cleaned up, ¿sabes? And even if it is about some gangster stuff. So, you know, people should refrain from saying things like it's like you know, like I said, I get on here and I shoot it from the hip. For the people that don't like it, you never have to follow. And that's and whether your views are substantial or not, you don't have to follow me. It's not about gang. It's not about you know, necessarily putting in work. It's just about common sense. And common sense would tell you that me saying if there was a burner in the trunk would be you know, incriminating myself. And that's the type of stuff that smart people don't do. And not saying that there was anything in the trunk, but I'll leave that to your imagination, whether there was something or there wasn't. At the end of the day, nobody got shot. My chain is still on my neck, and whether you say it's silver or it's gold or it's plastic or whatever, nobody cares. The whole story was about a dude wanted to snatch my chain, but they didn't do it. Why? Because they same energy. It's one thing to say what you'll do and then get in my face and then see a whole different, you know, trust me. Me and my son laugh about this all the time, for the cats that be like, oh, you know, I do this and they don't. You know, we laugh about it because cats actually don't know. They don't know the way the mentality works. But for the most part, it's just, you know, my word of advice to the cats that like to do that, like to go on social media and talk about who they'll kill and then, you know, show their guns and the drugs. And, you know, half you fools are crackheads anyway. And not the ones that support me, but, you know, some of you cats are crackheads. You sipping lean, you're almost half dead anyway. Some of you used to talk about crackheads, but now you're cokeheads, and it's just, or you're tweakers, and, you know, so on and so forth. So you really have no room to speak. And I understand, like, you know, and some of the people that come on here and they're like S-killer and all this, like, I know where you're at. I'm not really tripping, but to be honest, if you was really out there, you know, putting in that type of work, you wouldn't be on social media trying to net bang. It's just that simple. Why am I on YouTube? Is because I'm creating a channel and a brand, and obviously it's working because I'm at 15,000 subscribers and growing. So, you know, whether you choose to come along for the ride, it's cool. If you don't, I understand the 8 dislikes, and that's to the haters. It's not that I said something that you necessarily disagree with, because if you disagree with the fact that I said Chesters are garbage, then you're probably a Chester yourself, and I can't really say nothing about you. Like I said, everything on my channel is shooting it from the hip, never scripted. The only thing scripted is when I send my shots out to the homies and, you know, other cats that's up and coming. If you understand anything about Zah's channel, it don't matter what race, what creed, whatever you are, and you're trying to get your shout outs, even though it may not be that big. Maybe you gain 1 subscriber, but that's 1 subscriber that you didn't have before. Everybody should win, you know what I mean? But for the haters, like I said, if you really out there, you know, killing up stuff, you won't be on social media trying to bang on a 40-year-old. It's just, I mean, it's common sense. Yeah, you might be 20 now and be able to get me if we, and half the time it ain't, you guys ain't even on the stand-up fight. Now it's just everything's on the ground, which, I mean, that's your way of fighting. That's just what it is. But, and this is not a rant. This is just, you know, giving people an idea of what common sense is. Use common sense when you deal with certain things. When you're in a situation to where you're talking on camera, you don't want to mention about nothing that has to do with guns, or you going about shooting somebody, or your willingness to go kill somebody and anything of that nature, because all you're going to do is turn all radars towards you. For the people that don't get it, I mean, you can basically see what happened, and it's still happening in Sun Valley, in different parts of LA, different parts of IE and all that. You see when it really comes down to it, exactly what is what, you know. And I understand some cats will never be on that level, so they may not be able to, you know, they may not be able to familiarize themselves with that way of thinking, because that's a whole different way of thinking. But at the end of the day, this is what happens, you know. When they get phones and they, you know, break somebody, have somebody tell them whatever. Not saying that had anything to do with all these federal indictments. I'm just saying, like, things of that nature. That's why you refrain from putting certain things on the internet, because at the end of the day, you will get caught up. I mean, I don't know if you've been paying attention to, you know, what's his name, Arab, and you know, and all them cats from the East Coast have been getting cracked. Snitch 9, and you know, it's funny because I just seen an interview and him talking on the radio, talking about, you know, he's still saying blood, which is crazy that, you know, why Snoop Dogg called him a snitch, and he don't know, and he's facing all this time. And at the end of the day, it's just like, stay solid. If you want to, you know, be involved in certain things of that nature, stay solid. I did it for mine a gang of times, you know what I mean? And there's some cases that I took that had nothing to do with me, but it's just the fact that if you're going to participate and know that not everything will come out according to plan, and you just got to ride them beefs, and that's just the way it is. But yeah, and that's just basically, you know, just to address like the certain comments, and just to like to really tell these idiots that, you know, feel like they in their feelings like broads, you know, just refrain from talking about, you know, anything. Like if you're on social media and you need to boast about having a gun and actually show the gun on social media, then you're just the idiot when you get caught. And that's just basically, you know, common sense. And that's why I think dudes will sell their soul for a little bit of nothing. You know, dudes will sell their soul just to get on. It's proven. You know what I mean? Some of the same fools talking about cheek busting is the ones getting their cheeks busted, or maybe got their cheeks busted in prison. But you know, I'm not gonna go into that. That's all I want to do, is just address that and let people know that you should refrain from saying certain things if you're trying to stay out of prison. Because I mean, yeah, people are on here watching. That's why you got to be careful what you say. You know? My name is Zod, and you want to enjoy the rest of your day. And I'm out.